It was said that the De Luca mansion had no laughter, only silence and screams. Every few weeks, a new nanny arrived at the iron gates, smiling, confident, and full of hope. And every few weeks, she left those same gates in tears, clutching her suitcase, her face pale with fear. They called him the untamed heir, the 7-year-old son of the most feared mafia boss in the city, Matteo De Luca. A boy born into wealth, raised in shadows and haunted by something no one dared to name. Birds chirp faintly outside, but the mood remains heavy. The black car pulled up slowly before the mansion steps. Inside it sat a young woman, nervously twisting the strap of her old handbag. Her name was Elena Rossi, 23, humble, soft-spoken, and far too kind for a world like this. She had no choice but to come here. Her father's medical bills had drowned her in debt, and this was the only job that paid enough to save their home. As she stepped out, the butler, Mr. Dario, waited with a stern face. His voice was polite, but cold like the marble underfoot. Dario, Miss Rossi, a word of advice. Don't take it personally when the boy spits on you. He does that to everyone. Elena blinked, unsure if he was joking. He wasn't. Elena softly. I've taken care of difficult children before. I'm sure I'll manage. Dario. No, you won't. No one does. They walk through the hallway. Chandeliers glitter above. Portraits line the walls, and the air feels heavy with memories. Dario continues quietly, almost whispering. Dario. He doesn't speak, doesn't eat if anyone's watching. He screams at night. The boss has had 12 nannies in a year. The last one lasted 3 days. Elena lowers her eyes, gripping her small cross necklace. Elena. Poor child. He must be very lonely. Dario. Lonely? He scoffs. He's cursed, Miss Rossi. The door creaks open to a bright room at the top of the stairs. Inside sits Matteo, a small boy with wild brown hair, sitting on the floor drawing circles with a piece of chalk. The walls around him are covered with torn paper, broken toys, and one old teddy bear that looks like it's been through war. He doesn't look up when they enter. Dario gestures for Elena to go in. Dario. Good luck, Miss Rossi. If he bites you, call for help. The door closes behind her with a soft click. Elena stands still for a moment, her heartbeat echoing in her ears. Elena softly. Hello, Matteo? No response. The boy keeps drawing, his small hand trembling as the chalk scrapes the floor. Elena. That's a nice drawing. May I see it? Still nothing. She takes a slow step closer. The floor creaks, Matteo freezes, then suddenly looks up. Their eyes meet, and in that single moment, something inside Elena stirs, pain, fear, and something deeper sorrow. His eyes are a mirrored green, like his father's, but clouded with something broken. Elena softly. It's all right, sweetheart. I won't hurt you. He stares at her for a long time, unmoving. Then suddenly, he stands and walks forward, his tiny steps echoing in the silence. Elena doesn't move. She kneels down to his height. Elena. You must be Matteo. I'm Elena. I'll be taking care of you now. He stops right in front of her. The air between them feels fragile, like it could shatter at any second. Then, the boy slowly reaches out and kisses her hand. Elena's breath catches. She looks at him in shock. His lips tremble, his eyes glossy with tears he refuses to let fall. For a heartbeat, it feels like time itself has stopped. Then, without warning, Matteo turns and runs, not in fear, but as if escaping a memory that hurts too much. Dario hurries to the study where Don Lorenzo sits, reading a file by the window. Dario. Sir, something strange happened. Don Lorenzo without looking up. Does it ever not? Dario. It's the new maid. The boy. He kissed her hand. The pen drops from Lorenzo's hand. For the first time in years, the mafia boss looks startled. He turns slowly toward the butler, his cold eyes narrowing. Don Lorenzo. What did you say? Dario. She did nothing special, sir. He just kissed her hand. Lorenzo stands, his expression unreadable. He walks to the window, staring out at the garden where Elena now hangs laundry in the sunlight, her soft smile lighting up the dull gray of the mansion. Don Lorenzo quietly. Why her? He lights a cigarette, smoke curling in the air as the camera pans up toward his face, the faint scar under his eye catching the light. Don Lorenzo to himself. You never let anyone close, boy. What did you see in her? Evening falls. Elena sits by Matteo's room, humming softly as she folds his clothes. Through the open door, we see Matteo curled up on the bed, clutching the old teddy bear. He doesn't speak, but every few minutes he glances at her as if to make sure she's still there, as if afraid she might disappear. Like all the others did. Elena whispers under her breath, "Don't worry, Mateo. I'm not leaving you." Outside, thunder rumbles faintly in the distance, and from the shadows at the end of the hall, a pair of eyes watch her quietly. He was the boy who trusted no one. She was the woman who carried too much pain of her own. Neither of them knew this meeting would awaken ghosts that refused to stay buried. And as Don Lorenzo watched from the darkness above, he whispered words that would change everything. "If she's the reason my son smiles, she'll never be safe." Morning came slowly to the De Luca mansion, a place too grand to ever feel alive. But something was different that day. For the first time in years, there was laughter. Not loud, just a faint giggle. Echoing from the east wing, the sound of a child giggling faintly, then soft humming. We see Elena kneeling on the floor, folding paper boats while Mateo watches her. Elena smiling. "See? You fold the corners like this. Now it can float." Mateo whispering. "Float." Elena freezes. It's the first word he's spoken. Her eyes fill with tears. Elena whispering back. "Yes, it can float." She places the paper boat into a bowl of water. Matteo's eyes widen with quiet wonder. For the first time, the mansion feels alive, even if only in one small room. But outside that door, not everyone is smiling. Two older maids whisper while scrubbing silver dishes. Maid 1? "Did you see them?" He actually talked to her. Maid 2. "I tell you, she's done something. Some kind of spell." Maid 1. "The boss won't like this. That boy doesn't trust anyone for a reason." Don Lorenzo stands at his window, staring out at the garden. He watches Elena and Mateo from afar, Mateo running barefoot through the grass, laughter barely audible. The man who once ruled a city with fear now stands powerless before a child's fragile smile. Don Lorenzo to himself. He laughs for her, but not for me. He clenches his jaw, the faintest flicker of pain behind his hardened eyes. Lorenzo's inner monologue voiceover. He used to laugh for his mother too until that night. She pauses near the far wall. There's a door locked, with a thick layer of dust on the handle. Matteo's face turns pale the moment she looks at it. "Elena. What's this room, sweetheart?" Mateo. "No." He shakes his head violently. "Don't go." Elena. "It's okay. I was just asking." He drops the toys and runs to his bed, hiding under the blanket, trembling. Elena kneels beside him, her voice soft and trembling with empathy. "Elena." "Mateo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you." Mateo muffled. "Don't open it." He gets angry when it's open. Elena's heart skips. "He?" she whispers, but the boy has already shut down, his small hands gripping the teddy bear tightly. "Dario, you're the first to last this long. What's your secret?" Elena. "There's no secret. He's just scared." Dario grim. "Scared? That boy's seen more than any soldier. You'd be scared too if you saw what he did." Elena looks up sharply. Elena. "What did he see?" Dario's eyes dart toward the mansion windows, paranoid. Dario quietly. "Nothing you should ever ask about. Just if you value your life, Miss Rossi, don't try to fix the past. The boss doesn't forgive questions." He walks away, leaving Elena with a chill crawling up her spine. That evening, the sky burns orange as sunset falls. Elena walks down the hall, carrying folded sheets. She passes Matteo's room and hears faint sobbing. She pushes the door open. Mateo is kneeling near the bed, whispering into the air. Mateo crying. "Please don't cry, Mama." "I didn't tell him." "I didn't." Elena's heart breaks. She drops the sheets and runs to him, holding him close. Elena whispering. "You don't have to hide anymore. No one will hurt you." But the boy only shakes harder, his words trembling through tears. "Don't let him hurt her again." Elena freezes. Elena. "Who, Mateo?" "Who hurt her?" But Mateo shuts his mouth tight, terrified, as if he said too much. The mansion glows faintly under the moonlight. Don Lorenzo enters Matteo's room silently. Elena, half asleep in the chair beside the bed, opens her eyes. Don Lorenzo coldly. "You stay here even after he sleeps?" Elena. "He wakes up screaming if I leave." Don Lorenzo. "You're not his mother." Elena. "No, but he needs someone who won't give up on him." He studies her, the defiance in her calm eyes. Few people ever spoke to him like that. Don Lorenzo warning tone. "If you're here for money, you'll get it. If you're here for pity, you'll regret it. But if you're here for secrets, Elena interrupting softly. Then maybe you should stop keeping them. Silence. His eyes darken, a mixture of fury and confusion. He steps closer, lowering his voice. Don Lorenzo, you don't know what kind of house this is. Elena. No, sir, but I know what kind of child he is. Broken, lonely, and terrified of someone he calls him. That stops Lorenzo. He doesn't answer. His jaw tightens. Don Lorenzo. Be careful what you think you know, Miss Rossi. He turns and walks out, but for the first time, his steps sound uncertain. Later that night, Elena is tucking Matteo into bed. The lights are dim. He reaches for her hand, whispering something almost inaudible. Matteo, you're not like them. Elena. Like who? Matteo. The ones who lied to Mama. Her throat tightens. She strokes his hair until he falls asleep. But when she stands to leave, something catches her eye. A faint shadow outside the half-open door. Someone is standing in the hallway watching. Elena softly, hello? Who's there? No answer. The shadow lingers for a heartbeat, then vanishes. She slowly closes the door, her heart pounding. Don Lorenzo stands at the top of the stairs, half hidden in darkness, a cigarette burning between his fingers. His eyes are fixed on Elena's door. Don Lorenzo whispering, why does she look at him like that? Like she knows. He exhales smoke. The ember glows red against the darkness. And from another shadow behind him, a faint voice murmurs, low, threatening. Unknown man. You let her get too close, boss. You'll lose control. Lorenzo doesn't turn around. His voice is calm, but dangerous. Don Lorenzo. If she hurts him, I'll make sure she never sees daylight again. The maid who came to heal. The boy who refused to speak. And the father haunted by his own sins. Each one trapped in a mansion where every smile hides a wound, and every shadow remembers blood. The keyhole glows faintly as if something behind it is still alive. And tomorrow, when that door opens, the truth will start to bleed. Morning came with silence again. But this time, it wasn't peaceful. The De Luca mansion had learned to tell the difference between quiet and calm. And this was the kind of quiet that came before a storm. Elena walks slowly, holding a tray of breakfast for Matteo. She smiles faintly as she hums a tune. Then she freezes. There, at the end of the hallway, hangs the De Luca family portrait. But it's been defaced, smeared with streaks of dark red paint. Right across the woman's face. The mother. Elena drops the tray. It crashes against the floor, echoing like a gunshot through the halls. Elena whispering, who did this? Footsteps thunder behind her. Dario rushes forward, followed by two maids. Maid one gasping. Oh no, not again. Dario, what do you mean again? Maid two. Last year the same thing happened. No one found out who did it. Elena's eyes widen. Elena, Matteo? Matteo's room. He sits on the floor, clutching his teddy bear. The maids stand behind Elena, whispering nervously. Maid one. He always blames the ghosts. Maid two. Maybe it's his way of crying for his mother. Elena kneels in front of Matteo, gentle but firm. Elena, Matteo. Tell me the truth. Did you paint on the picture? He shakes his head, violently, eyes wide, terrified. Matteo. It wasn't me. Elena. Then who? Matteo trembling. It was him. The room falls dead silent. Elena softly. Who is him, Matteo? The boy's lips quiver. He looks toward the locked room down the hall. Then he hides his face in the teddy bear, whispering. Matteo. He doesn't like her face showing. Elena's heart races as she glances at the door, the same locked door Matteo fears so much. Don Lorenzo's study, dim light, curtains drawn. He's reading a file, cigarette smoke curling around him. Elena enters, clutching the hem of her apron nervously. Elena. Sir, something's happened. Don Lorenzo without looking up. Something always happens in this house. Elena. The portrait. Someone vandalized it. Your wife's face. He looks up sharply. For a split second, his composure breaks. Don Lorenzo. What did you say? Elena. Matteo says it wasn't him. He said it was him. Lorenzo stands, the chair scraping back. He steps closer, his voice suddenly low, dangerous. Don Lorenzo. Don't listen to everything that boy says. He dreams. He imagines things. That's all. Elena hesitant. He's not imagining fear, sir. He's reliving something. He freezes. His eyes narrow. Don Lorenzo. Careful, Miss Rossi. Curiosity is poison in this house. But Elena doesn't back down. Elena. Then maybe the poison started long before I arrived. He stares at her for a long time, then turns away. Don Lorenzo. Leave. Now. She turns to go. But before she leaves, she sees a small framed photo on his desk. It's of Isabella, Matteo's mother. Her smile looks eerily similar to Elena's. Later that afternoon, the staff clean the hallway. The portrait is covered with a white cloth. Matteo sits nearby, staring at it silently. Elena joins him, sitting cross-legged beside him. Elena, was that your mother? Matteo softly. She sang every morning. I can't remember the song anymore. Elena, do you remember what happened to her? The boy hesitates. Matteo, Papa said she went to heaven. Elena, and what do you believe? Matteo quietly. He made her go. Elena stares at him, her breath trembling. Elena, Matteo, do you mean your father? Matteo interrupting. Sha, he'll hear. He suddenly grabs her hand, eyes darting toward the door, as if someone might burst in any second. The mansion glows under golden sunset light. Elena stands by the garden, hanging clothes on a line. Don Lorenzo approaches silently behind her. Don Lorenzo coldly. You're spending too much time with him. Elena. He's a child, sir. He needs care. Don Lorenzo. He needs discipline. That's what his mother forgot to give him. Elena turning to face him. Or maybe he needs the truth she never got to tell. A tense silence. Their eyes lock. The sound of wind rustles the trees around them. Don Lorenzo stepping closer. Do you think you understand my son better than I do? Elena. No, sir. I just think. You've stopped trying. His face hardens. He looks like he's about to shout. But then he stops, noticing something glinting around her neck. A locket. Old. Familiar. He reaches out, snatching it. Don Lorenzo furious. Where did you get this? Elena startled. It was my mother's. Why? Don Lorenzo snarling. You lie. This belonged to Isabella. Matteo, who had been hiding behind the curtain, screams, high, broken, terrified. Matteo. Don't hurt her. Don't hurt her like you hurt Mommy. The world freezes. The music stops. Elena's eyes widen. Lorenzo's grip loosens instantly. Don Lorenzo hoarse whisper. What did you say? Matteo runs to Elena, clutching her tightly, crying uncontrollably. Matteo. You shouted, she cried, then fire. Lorenzo stumbles back, pale as death. The words cut deeper than any bullet could. The truth had begun to slip through the cracks. A truth buried under years of silence, guilt, and blood. The boy remembered, and the father could no longer pretend to forget. Lorenzo's trembling hand holding the locket, then pans to Elena's horrified face as Matteo buries his head against her chest. But what neither of them knew was that someone else had heard those words too. Someone standing just outside the door, with a gun in his hand. After that day, the mansion stopped breathing. No one dared to speak of what Matteo had said. But in silence, truth grows louder. And by morning, everyone could feel it. The De Luca mansion was holding a secret too big to stay buried. Elena stands by the window of Matteo's room. The boy is asleep, his small hands clutching her apron. She watches the rain hit the glass, her mind racing. Elena's soft whisper. Don't hurt her like you hurt Mommy. She repeats Matteo's words under her breath, her face pale. Something deep inside her tells her this wasn't a child's imagination. It was memory. The door creaks open. Dario steps inside quietly. Dario, low voice. You should pack your things, Miss Rossi. Elena turning. Why? Dario. The boss hasn't slept. He's been in the old office all night. You poked at wounds better left untouched. Elena folds her arms, her voice trembling but firm. Elena. If he killed his wife, then his son deserves to know the truth. Dario flinches at her words, looking toward the hall nervously. Dario. Careful, girl. You don't survive in this house by being brave. You survive by being quiet. He leaves quickly, his footsteps echoing down the hall. Later that day, Elena walks through the mansion alone. The halls feel different now. The portraits stare back. The air hums with tension. She stops at the locked door, the one Matteo fears. The brass handle glints under the dim light. For a moment, she hesitates. Then she takes the key she found earlier, hidden behind Isabella's photo on the study shelf. It fits. The lock clicks open. Creak. The door swings slowly inward. Dust swirls in the air. The room is frozen in time. Isabella's perfume bottles still line the vanity. A jewelry box lies open, empty. On the wall, burn marks blacken the corners. And then, Elena's eyes fall on the floor. A loose wooden plank. She kneels down and gently pries it open. Inside, a small box wrapped in old cloth. Her hands tremble as she unwraps it. Inside are photos, letters, and a blood-stained locket identical to the one around her own neck. She unfolds one letter, Isabella's handwriting. If anything happens to me, it will be because of Lorenzo. I cannot stay silent anymore. I will take Matteo and leave tonight. Elena's breath catches. Her hands shake violently. The letter falls to the floor. Don Lorenzo, hoarse cold. I told you not to open that door. Elena turns. He stands there, rain soaked from the storm, eyes red and wild. Elena, you lied to him. You lied to your own son. Don Lorenzo, you don't know what you're talking about. Elena, she was leaving you. You found out, didn't you? Don Lorenzo yelling. Enough. Thunder crashes. The room trembles with his voice. He grabs the box from her hands, slamming it shut. Don Lorenzo, broken voice. You think I killed her? You think I wanted my son to grow up afraid of me? Elena, tearful. Then what happened that night? Silence. Only the rain answers. He sits down slowly, his voice cracking like old wood. Don Lorenzo. She found out what I'd done. The deals. The people I hurt. She said she'd leave, take Matteo. I tried to stop her. She fell. I swear, I never meant. He stops. His voice dies in his throat. Don Lorenzo whispering. By the time I pulled her from the fire, she was already gone. He covers his face. For a moment, the Mafia boss looks nothing like a monster, just a broken man drowning in guilt. Elena softly. And Matteo saw? He nods slowly, tears streaking down his face. Don Lorenzo. He saw everything. The fight, the flames, his mother's hand reaching for him and me dragging him away. Elena, you buried the truth, hoping time would erase it, but it only buried your son's heart. He looks up, and for the first time, there's no anger in his eyes. Just pain. Don Lorenzo. You're right. Elena. Then make it right before it's too late. A loud crash interrupts. The window shatters. A bullet hits the mirror beside them. Don Lorenzo shouting, Get down. They drop to the floor as gunfire erupts outside. Men's voices echo in the hall, shouting in Italian. Elena panicking. Who are they? Don Lorenzo. My past. He grabs a pistol from his coat and checks the magazine. Don Lorenzo. The council found out I wanted to step down. They think I'm weak. They're here for my son. Elena's eyes widen. Horror floods her face. Elena, Matteo. They run from the room, bullets hitting the walls around them. The mansion's once grand halls are filled with chaos, shouting, glass breaking, thunder outside. They reach Matteo's door, locked from inside. Elena banging. Matteo, it's me. Open the door. Matteo crying inside. I'm scared. Elena. Don't be, sweetheart. I'm right here. Open it, please. The door opens. Matteo runs into her arms, sobbing. Elena holding him tight. Sha, I've got you. Don Lorenzo. We need to get to the basement. There's a safe room under the floor. They rush down the back stairs, the sound of footsteps behind them. They reach the basement door. Lorenzo pushes it open. Elena sets Matteo inside, crouching beside him. Elena. No matter what happens, stay quiet, okay? Matteo sniffling. Don't leave me. Elena smiling through tears. I won't. She turns to Lorenzo. Elena. You go. He needs his father. Don Lorenzo. And he needs you. You're the first light this house has seen in years. Their eyes lock, both knowing what's coming. Suddenly, the lights flicker, then go out. Darkness. Only thunder and footsteps above them. A metallic click. A voice in the dark. Unknown man cold, echoing. You should have never come here, Maid. Camera zooms on Elena's face. Her eyes widen as a gun barrel glints in the lightning flash. And in that moment, the past, the truth, and the blood of the De Luca name all came crashing down into the same darkness. Gunshot echoes. Silence. When the gunfire stopped, the De Luca mansion finally fell silent. But silence doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes it's just the sound before the heart stops beating. Flash of lightning. Elena gasps awake, her head bleeding slightly. Her hands search the floor. Cold steel grazes her palm. She realizes the bullet missed her barely. Elena whispering, Matteo. She crawls toward the hidden door. It's half open. The hinge is broken. Inside, she sees Don Lorenzo kneeling beside Matteo, shielding the boy with his own body. His suit is torn, blood seeping from his shoulder. Elena shaking. "You're hit." Don Lorenzo gritting his teeth. "It's nothing. They're gone for now." He looks up, eyes hollow, exhausted. "Don Lorenzo. They wanted him. My son. To use him against me." Elena helps him sit up. Matteo clings to her arm, sobbing softly. Matteo crying. "Make them go away, please." Elena whispering. "They won't hurt you again. I promise." She touches his cheek gently. He flinches at first, then leans in, trusting her. And in that fragile moment, the boy who spat at every nanny, every maid, every stranger, does something no one expected. He kisses Elena's cheek. Matteo tearful. "You smell like mommy." Elena freezes. Her eyes widen. She pulls back, whispering in disbelief. "Elena, what did you just say?" "Matteo. Mommy's necklace. You have the same one." Elena looks down. The locket around her neck glints in the dim light. The one Isabella left behind. She opens it. Inside, a photo of a newborn baby with Isabella's handwriting. "My Matteo." Her heart stops. Elena whispering. "No, that can't be." Don Lorenzo looks at her, confusion in his eyes. "Don Lorenzo." "Elena, where did you get that?" Elena choking up. "I was adopted. All I had was this locket and a note with your address on it." He stares at her. The color drains from his face. Don Lorenzo hoarse whisper. "Dio mio. Isabella was pregnant when she said she'd leave. She told me it was a lie, that she lost the baby." He clutches his head, the realization breaking him completely. "Don Lorenzo. You're her daughter." Elena barely breathing. "That makes me." Don Lorenzo, Matteo's sister. The room falls silent except for the storm outside. Matteo looks between them, confused. "Matteo. Sister?" Elena crying softly. "Yes, sweetheart. I'm your sister." She hugs him tightly, crying into his hair. He holds her back, the innocence of the gesture breaking through years of trauma. Don Lorenzo lowers his head, his voice trembling. "Don Lorenzo. I've done terrible things, Elena. But maybe God sent you back to me to fix what I destroyed." He groans, his wound worsening. Elena panicking. "No, no, stay with me. You'll be fine." Don Lorenzo. "Promise me. You'll protect him. Don't let this life touch him. Let him be free." Tears stream down her face as she presses her hands over his wound. "Elena, you're not dying. I won't let you." He reaches out weakly, his bloodied hand brushing her cheek. "Don Lorenzo, you have your mother's eyes." His voice breaks, barely a whisper now. "Don Lorenzo." And her heart. His hand falls. Elena stares at him, motionless. The rain stops. A ray of daylight cuts through the broken window, landing on the three of them. She pulls Matteo close. Elena softly. "We'll go far from here, Matteo. Somewhere safe. Somewhere no one will ever call you boss son again." She takes one last look at the mansion, the empire built on blood and lies. And as the sun rose over the De Luca estate, a new chapter began, one written not in power or vengeance, but in love, forgiveness, and truth. Elena and Matteo walking down the empty driveway, hand in hand. Behind them, the mansion looms, silent at last. Sometimes, the most broken hearts build the strongest bonds. The Mafia boss's son, once lost in anger, finally found peace. Not in revenge, but in the arms of the one person who shared his mother's heart.